A thin mist rolls over the fjord as Viking longships, helmed by Eric the Red, slice through icy waters toward foreign shores. On deck, Astrid sharpens her axe, her eyes set on the distant, unknown coast, nerves steady for what lies ahead. Break time, 500 milliseconds. Speak. Lord Adric stands on a grassy bluff, scanning the gray horizon, where sails appear like specters above the tide. Break time, 500 milliseconds. Leif crouches at the prow, his sharp eyes searching for signs of defenders along the rugged coastline. The longships land with a thud on a pebbly beach, warriors leaping off with weapons ready for a swift incursion. Edric dispatches riders to warn neighboring villages, their horses kicking up mud on the narrow paths. Eric rallies his warriors with a fierce speech on victory, promising spoils and new lands for the fearless. Astrid leads a squad into the woods, searching for tracks in the dew-soaked undergrowth. Leif discovers footprints and a discarded brooch near an animal track leading deeper inland. A watchtower bell rings out from a distant village, echoing dread into the fields as farmers flee. Vikings descend on the outlying hamlet, taking livestock and goods, while villagers disappear into the forest. Speak. Lord Edric organizes a militia at the village square, distributing spears and shields to trembling townsfolk. Break time of 500 milliseconds. Leif scouts the main road heading back to the ships, finding signs of a hastily prepared ambush. Astrid spots the glint of spear points among trees and warns the warband in time to regroup. Break time 500 milliseconds. A skirmish erupts at the forest's edge, spears whistling and shields slamming under battle cries. Leif narrowly dodges a thrown spear, tumbling behind an ancient oak as chaos surrounds him. Adric calls a retreat, his men scattering through tangled brush as Vikings press their advance. Vikings regroup and plunder a deserted manor, gathering grain and silver under Eric's orders. Astrid discovers a hidden cellar, revealing supplies and a trembling servant girl, urging mercy. Leif signals the longships to prepare for departure as English reinforcements gather at the village edge. Eric commands his warriors to torch the manor as a distraction before withdrawal. Lord Adric, arriving too late, vows revenge on the invaders as his home smolders. Break time 500 milliseconds. Norse survivors row furiously, the coast receding as arrows splash in water behind their vessel. Astrid tends to wounded warriors as the ships regroup by a craggy island for the night. Haha. Speak. Leif reports to Eric about the English militia's preparedness and the near discovery of their escape route. Edric buries his dead by lantern light, cementing sorrow into a resolve to unite the local lords. At dawn, Eric decides the Norse should push inland, searching for richer targets and weaker defenses. Astrid volunteers to lead a reconnaissance team northward toward rumored monasteries filled with gold. Break time, 500 milliseconds. Leif overhears English peasants gossiping about a hidden abbey, memorizing landmarks for later attack. Eric spars with his champions beneath a grove, drilling for the next inevitable clash. Speak. Lord Edric and his surviving militia meet with a neighboring lord, forging a shaky alliance over shared loss. Astrid's party discovers the abbey's walls hidden amidst yew trees, prayers echoing beyond high stones. Leif signals for the Norse to gather as dusk falls, preparing for a night assault on the abbey. Break time. Eric's command echoes as Vikings move silently into position, waiting for the signal to storm the abbey. Inside, monks and villagers kneel in fear, clutching simple treasures as distant sounds of war arise. A sudden cry pierces the night, as Act 1 ends, leaving battle and fate suspended in the chilly dark. Creeping through the woods beneath a pale moon, Astrid and Leif silently survey the abbey's stone walls. They spot unsuspecting monks praying in candlelight. The scouts memorize guard rotations and entry points for the morning raid. At dawn, Eric gathers the raiding party, explaining Astrid and Leif's findings. Weapons are checked with tense determination, while the warriors ready for battle, their breath misting in the cold air. Speak. Lord Edric rides into Lord Aldwin's manor, urging him to join forces against the Norse invaders. The two nobles agree to muster every able-bodied man for a counterattack. Break time, 500 milliseconds. Eric's ship slips up the mist-shrouded river before sunrise. The Vikings silently disembark, their weapons ready. Eric scans the abbey's looming stone walls, calculating their next move. Astrid and Leif lead a small squad around the rear of the abbey, using shadow and brambles as cover. They whisper strategies, eyes sharp for any sign of movement from within. Inside the abbey, monks light candles and ring the lauds bell, unaware of the imminent danger. The soft chanting blends with the distant splash of oars fading away. Eric signals the main force to advance. Norse shields lock into a wall, advancing steadily toward the front gates as the lookout raises the alarm and bells toll in panic. As Edric and Aldwin's allied troops arrive ahead of schedule, they form a defensive line across the abbey's front road, bristling with spear points and shouting defiance at the Vikings.